Hi there, fellow sea glass lovers. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and this is part 14 in my Lighthouse workshop series. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a lesson on how to create movement in your sea glass mosaic. Now, you could just put all of your sea glass pieces on your glass and have it just sitting there kind of flat, or you can create movement. Like me standing here in front of a blank white wall, not that interesting, especially if I just stood here and talked to you really monotone. Or I could add a lot of movement and it gets a little bit more interesting. Well, you can do that with your sea glass mosaic as well. So let me show you how I create some movement when I'm doing a sea glass mosaic. So to help create a sense of movement in my water, what I often do is I'll create these lines of sea glass. You can see going across here, and it even carries into the next pane of glass. And as you go up through, you can see it's fairly organic, wavy lines of sea glass that really help create some movement in your water. The other thing that I find quite helpful here is to vary the shade of the sea glass. So I've got some dark green, I've got some really light green, and that creates quite a bit of movement and depth in the water as well. And then I carry that down into the sand. So I've got these waves of sand coming across here, and they carry right across into the next pane of glass. Now, doing this isn't really that difficult, because if you can see this wave of sand going across here, I just want to carry it along all the way up the beach. So I just pick out a bunch of sea glass that's kind of rectangular and triangular in shape, and then I play around with them until they kind of fit in nicely into this line to create a line of sea glass going up the beach. Probably have to play around with these a bit to get them to fit just right, but this is the idea. And then you get these wavy lines of sea glass going up the beach. And the same thing here. I can fill these in here. This is where I'm probably going to get, I'm going to go up a little scale higher in size, just to contrast one line from the other. And I'll go through those. And then I'm going to do that here and here. And so each line of glass is going to create another line of sand going up the beach. And then over here you can see I've done that where I've done a line here and a line here, and I'll just carry those on, looking for pieces of sea glass that are going to give me lines. And this is creating a lot of movement in my sand. So you can see that by the time I get the sand all filled in, it really comes together and takes shape. And over here, the same thing. You've got all this movement happening in the sand. So then when I get to the sky, I want to do the same thing. So you'll see on my pattern that I just put a few little pencil lines here just to remind me that I want these rays of light coming from the sun. And I create those waves of light by creating movement with my sea glass. And sea glass is really organic in shape, so it really lends itself well to creating these wavy lines. I typically create rays of sun and then fill in, and by the time it's finished, it does look quite a bit like movement. That's moving a bit too much because you want it kind of organic. I don't want it going in circles. So thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you found it really helpful. And I hope you join me for my next video. In my next video, I'm going to give you some more tips on what you can do to create a really dynamic sky. This is sort of the start of it, creating all these waves of movement in the clouds. And then, by the time I get my sky finished, you know what that means. My piece is going to be done. So join me next week and I will show you a dynamic sky and a finished piece. So in the meantime, I hope you make it out to the beach, and happy sea glass hunting.